No, they
How
said
you're
they
handling
listening.
this?
They saying they listening. They hear me loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that I don't seem much different than normal, you know, and normal being more different than everybody else.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Why did you only see the counselor one time? It sounds like you felt like getting stuff out in the open was helpful. Is there a reason that was only a one-time thing?
Yeah, I mean, it was a series of conversations. Even though I stopped. One was the conversations were was a favor. And I know that that was kind of in my head a little bit, like, okay, this may run out.
Mm-hmm.
And me not allowing myself to see myself affording it based on me feeling like the counselor seemed to be attracted to my conversation in a not so comfortable way. And yeah,
So you
that
were uncomfortable by how the counselor is trying to relate to you?
no, I was uncomfortable at their excitement at how my ability to be able to communicate on the level that I can, seeing what my life's history is, and knowing that I never had any formal counseling. So it was kind of like, I don't know. It was like he was excited, and it was like I get it because I definitely understand who I am. I could definitely understand how someone could kind of be attracted to my ability to communicate my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I guess with me being perceived from myself kind of like as a subject, so to speak,
Yeah.
and me feeling like I am very comfortable with myself being observed and have witnesses to what I'm able to communicate, but I just feel like he wasn't one of those people. And I know a whole lot of people who would actually really benefit from it more, which in turn would
Okay.
benefit me more.
Okay. Do you know if anyone else in your family, or I should just say anyone in your family, because you said you haven't been diagnosed with anything, has anyone in your family struggled with mental health issues like depression,
Yeah,
anxiety,
everybody dealing with
or
everything, or everybody is not dealing with everything.
well, but I mean, has anyone ever struggled to a point where they've had a clinical diagnosis or had to get treatment for it?
No.
Okay. Okay. How have you been sleeping recently? Has any of this been affecting
Yep.
your sleep
So that
patterns?
yeah, so yeah, that's one of the signs for me is that when my sleep pattern goes from I can lay down and fall asleep in 2 seconds consistently day to day to it takes me to be up a longer period of time for me to be able to lay down and fall asleep. So it's going from a easily consistent, you know, 6 to 8 hours to 3 to 4 hours.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then that's
So
when
you're
I'm
sleeping about
and
three
I
to four
and I
hours a night?
huh?
Are you only sleeping 3 to 4 hours a night then?
Yep, for the last I don't know, several days.
Okay.
Separate from I guess the height of the recent deaths because I wasn't sleeping at night because some of the situations that were occurring, the collateral damage was happening at night. But I still found myself laying down and taking naps during the day. So I recognized that even though the deaths had just happened, I was able to fall asleep. And even if it was broken up, I would get about 7 or 8 hours of sleep. But I recognized that within the last week or less, I've been finding myself waking up like clockwork at like 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, even though I didn't go to bed until 1, which is abnormal because I go to sleep without an alarm and I wake up like clockwork all the time. And when this is happening within the last week, it's familiar to me from 7 years ago when what I'm feeling was at a way higher level than what I'm feeling right now.
Okay.
And arguably me recognizing the 6 years in between, or the 5 years in between now and 2014, I would, around the same time period of the year, which is kind of like transitioning into spring, I would start to kind of feel, just like a little glimpse of, energy or something. I don't know. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, well, let me relax. Let me do what I've put in my life to keep me kind of at a balanced level, which is all those things that I said at the beginning of the conversation. I kind of do on a regular basis, like on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, because you're not sleeping, do you find that you're more tired than usual because of that, or has your energy level kind of stayed the same despite not sleeping too good?
The energy level has stayed the same from not sleeping too good because I feel like I'm at least alert to some of what I'm watching myself do, which is, playing the flute a little more than normal. And then I recognize that I'm playing a little more than normal. And then I just allow myself to do it because I realize that I'm like calming myself down. So I haven't experienced like an increase of feeling like, energy or whatever, because I'm like alert to how I guess kind of keep myself normal. So I
Okay.
do those
So
things
it
all the
doesn't sound
time.
like you're like too overly sluggish or just tired all the time either.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. I'm not sluggish and I'm not charged, for lack of a better word.
Gotcha. Okay. How's your appetite been?
Oh, my appetite has been cool. Cool meaning, I'm not sitting there looking at my food in front of me. And that was definitely something that I recognized in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you worried that maybe it's on a path to get back to where it was in 2014?
I'm not worried that it's on the path for it to get back to 2014. I recognize that me calling now changes. Well, let me say it like this. In 2014, I kind of checked myself into the hospital.
Okay.
And because I feel like I was recognizing all the things I'm explaining to you, like 3 months into feeling like this.
Yeah.
And now, me feeling like this for several days, I'm like, oh, so maybe I should call now. So that's what I did.
Awesome. Okay. Catching it before.
Yeah, like, so, and it wasn't even like, oh, I'm scared that it's about to. No, it was more like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do different right now.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you admit yourself to?
Where was South Point?
South Point.
South Point. Okay.
Yep.
Did they have you on any medications there?
Nope, no medication. Well, they shot something in my arm, but I don't really know what none of that stuff was. And I didn't get prescribed anything after I left the hospital, and I never was admitted to the psych ward.
Okay. So it wasn't anything that they gave you like daily while you're in the hospital. It's kind of just like a one-time thing.
I'm not completely alert to how much I was being given and how many
Okay.
days I was being given it. I remember it being expressed to me that what I was given should have put me to sleep. And they were
Okay.
concerned that I wasn't falling asleep with the stuff that they gave me. And I kind of remember trying to convince them if they stopped giving me anything, that would help me relax and fall asleep. Because I remember sleeping the last maybe couple days or something that I was in the hospital.
Okay.
Yep.
What is what is the living situation like at home? Like who lives in the house? Is it just the two of you guys?
Um, and Dakota, we have a dog.
Aw, what kind of dog is Dakota?
Uh, a 90-pound puppy. That's an Akita.
Oh, nice. Okay, I had a friend that had one of those. Used to drive me crazy wanting to go outside into the snow and then back inside and then back out into the snow.
Yeah, and I'm like a snow baby. So we spend the wintertime outside wrestling all the time.
That's cool. They're pretty dogs. Do you work at all?
I am a freelance photographer and I work part-time with my mom's construction company.
Okay.
Yep.
It's cool that you get to spend so much time kind of doing your own art and, like you said, being a creative.
Yeah, and it's weird because I actually get to experience myself helping my mom with her construction company kind of just because I want to be around her because I technically never have had like a real job ever in my life. I've been a working active artist my entire life.
Okay.
So it's like I'm an artist with a little thing to make sure I'm close with my mom on the side, um, and kind of not the other way around, which is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard for a lot of people to do that.
Yeah, I was scared to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of.
You want?
I'll go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I s
No, go ahead.
it'll come back.